Most fragrances I buy, it's based on research online. I don't really have enough time in my life to go out and cruise the fragrance counters. Every now and then, but you know how that is. So in this video, I have 5 new fragrances that I recently acquired, and they gave me that oh what a grand feeling when I first got them in. Of course, they were blind buys like we established. I got them in, I wore them, and I enjoyed every single minute of it. And in this video, I'll share them with you. The first one that I got in this list is one that Ashton from Chance Scents recommended. You know him? He looks like a really honest and great guy, and he really has some good advice, and he's been doing it for a long time. So you can really trust this guy. I've bought many of his fragrances that he said were really good, and so far I've been really pleased. So thank you, Ashton, for recommending Roberto Cavalli's Uomo. The perfumer Christophe Renaud used a black violet at the very top of this fragrance. There's also going to be some saffron at the very top. As it dries down, you're going to have some honey and some lavender. The violet note in this fragrance at the very top gives it sort of a sweet kind of powdery nuance. Definitely a little bit more on the floral side. It is a masculine scent with a hint of unisex, for sure. And the lavender definitely keeps it bright until it sinks down into the honey and the cedar. It has sort of memories or hints of 2 other fragrances. Tom Ford's Velvet Orchid, sort of mixed with La Nuit de l'Homme. So if you're a fan of these 2, you're surely gonna love this one. And this one you can get for a really good price nowadays. And since we just mentioned the Tom Ford, the next one is actually a Tom Ford fragrance. It used to be in the private blend, and you could get it for a nice $1, and it was from 2014. But it was re-released in 2021, new bottle, new price, and it is Costa Azzurra from Tom Ford. Online, this is described as a woody citrus, but with notes like driftwood, incense, oak. You would think that this may be a cold weather fragrance, but I assure you it is not. The lovely mandarin in this one, combined with the lemon, stay throughout the whole entirety of the fragrance. It's a little bit on the linear side. Costa Azzurra stays at the very top for me, or near the top of summer fragrances, if it wasn't for one problem. I kind of feel that the fragrance doesn't really last that long. Costa Azzurra, to me, I spray that on my skin and I only get about 3 to 4 hours out of it longevity. I love the way it smells, but it just doesn't last on my skin. So I have to respray this one throughout a day 2 to 3 times. It may perform better if you're actually outside in the heat, but I find that the heat in my skin just sort of absorbs fragrance. So to me, I have to respray this one quite a bit. Now I know that there is a perfume version of this one. I don't have it yet, but if you have the perfume version of this one, it's all in a solid gold like the cap. Let me know if it smells alike and if it actually lasts longer than this one right here. Let me know in the comment. I'd love to hear from you. The next one that I have that I thought was a really good surprise when I got it in the mail, for a blind buy, is one that has tremendous protection and tremendous longevity, as most of the fragrances in that line does. This would be a great time for you to leave a like if you're getting anything out of this at all, or maybe even subscribe for more content. Thanks in advance. This next one is a vetiver fragrance from Nishane, and it is Sultan Vetiver. Now, I recently did a vetiver fragrance video. I'll link it in the top if you want to watch it. This one was not in it because I didn't have it yet. Sultan Vetiver is something for a fragrance lover who really enjoys vetiver because it has many different kinds of vetiver in it. It has the Haitian vetiver in it that's kind of a little lighter, a little fresher. It also has the Chava vetiver in it, which is a little bit smokier, a little bit dustier. This is perfect for someone who wants to enjoy the road of vetiver. If you're a vetiver lover, this is something you really need to get your nose on. Now, it is absolutely a powerhouse. This is not your typical Guerlain vetiver fragrance. Everybody loves that due to its smoothness, But this one is a little bit, it's powerful. Okay, Sultan Vetiver stands tall, strong, it's masculine. It is definitely one you want to sample first, just saying. But let's tone it down a little bit for the next one. Declaration by Cartier came out in 1998. And I believe Jean-Claude Elena was behind this one. Let's give it a spray. It's a really wonderful fragrance, really. I have a few different iterations, but there's a new one for 2021. Mathilde Laurent was behind, or is behind, the new 2021 release. There are currently about 13 Declaration Fragrance Flankers. And the newest one is Declaration Hot Fresh, which is this one right here. Let's give this one a little spray as well while we're at it. Hot Fresher still has the backbone of the original Declaration, but it is going to be toned down a little bit and a little bit more fresh. You're going to have some citrus, some cardamom, and some cedar in this one as the main notes, with the backbone faintly in the back of Declaration. You can still smell it's there, but it is definitely a fresher scent. And you're like, okay, if it has the backbone in it, but it's a fresher scent, you know, what does it smell like? And so when I sprayed this one, I immediately thought of two fragrances. I thought of the Mugler cologne. It is in the same sort of freshness. And I thought of Hermes Voyage. Unfortunately, just like I said, they kind of smell sort of in the same vein. The longevity is also the same. Hot Fresher is going to smell or last just as long as these two, which means they're going to be sort of more on the intimate side fairly quickly, which means respray, respray, respray. The next one that I have is going to be one that actually really surprised me. I'm normally not a fan of this brand. I don't have any except for one that was given to me a while back. But this one, I was actually at the fragrance counter and I walked by and I saw it and I kind of gave it a spray on my hand and I walked off. So honestly, I didn't even expect much from this one at all. But I was really pleasantly surprised. And the one that it is, it's the Polo for men, and it's the Cologne Intense, this one right here. Now the original came out in 1978. I did have a bottle of that one. I used it up completely. Unfortunately, I never repurchased one. But this one right here, I find myself wearing it quite a bit since I've gotten it, because it has the underlying note of ambroxan in it. Now, if you're expecting this one to be as green and as piney as the 1978 version, you're gonna be sorely disappointed. It's not like that at all. It is still a green fragrance, but not nearly as powerful and as potent as the original was. The new Intense Cologne 2021 is more wearable in my opinion. What you have in this one, you're gonna have some basil, some mint, some grapefruit, which is a very popular note for this summer. You're also gonna have some ambroxan, patchouli, and vetiver in the dry down. The Intense Cologne 2021 is a perfect way to reminisce with the classic, one of the best fragrances of yesteryear ever created by Carlos Benaim. You can wear this one with the ghost of it in the background and still feel modern and contemporary. Additionally, what I enjoy about this one is I can go green for the summer instead of blue. What's not to like? I had fun spending time with you. If you got anything out of this at all, please do leave a like, and maybe even subscribe for more content. Until next time, I want you to take good care of yourself. Always smell nice, and I will talk to you soon.